So if you guys know me, you definitely know that I like to put up my JoJo reviews rather early on Friday, but today I had something that I had to take care of, and so I could not get to the review until now. But next week I'll be putting it up back at my regular time, a couple of hours earlier from now. But this episode, as usual, it was pretty freaking fantastic. We see now that this fight between Koichi and Yukako, this fight right here, it was pretty great, but that right there was because we see Koichi stand actually kind of level up and become an Act 2, and that right there was impressive because that speed and the power upgrade, that right there was freaking insane. And so now the episode itself, it starts off where we have Okuyasu and Josuke. They were looking for Koichi, and we see now how they had called his home and his family has not seen him either. It got to the point where they were going to make a police report because he's been gone for a while now, and that right there is definitely not like him. And so of course they were worried because if he's gone, and they also noticed how Yukako was gone as well, they definitely know that, if anyone would make him disappear, it would definitely be her. And we see Yukako, she is still testing him, and we see her, do something cruel because for Koichi to use the bathroom, he had to put in the combination, for this question. It was something about Columbus. Right now I can't remember it, but apparently the law combination was the year, and so he was close. I believe that he had got 3 out of 4 numbers right, but unfortunately he couldn't make it in time, and he actually wet himself, and that right there made him feel so horrible, so disgusted. We see now how he was trying to make himself look really bad in front of Yukako so that way she might give up, but at the same time that right there did not work because we see or learn how she felt blessed, washing his clothes, and she was saying how poop and snot, it didn't matter, so nothing he said was getting through to her. And we see now that, that she was not done yet. She was actually going to step her game up, in fact, because we see her working on this electric chair, and I'm pretty sure that right there would have killed him if he would have been inside that chair, for a long period of time. And so we see now how she was gonna go buy some olive oil because she was thinking of making some Italian food. And so when Koichi had realized that, and obviously the phone in the house is not working, there must be a payphone, nearby. And so we see him now use echoes to look for the phone, and he found it, but unfortunately he did not have 10 yen to put in there, so that way he could make a call. And so Yukako, she did not realize that his stand was now out there because his stand had a range of 50 meters. And so now, she was thinking that, that he would sneak out and go make the call. And so she was she'll just go, destroy the emergency number button so that way he could not call anyone. And so because of that, when she had put in that 10 cent yen, we see how Koichi had used echoes to put the numbers on her arm, and we see now how that right there made it so that the phone was calling that number. And we see now that when Josuke had answered, obviously she was not gonna say nothing, but Josuke could hear the sound of waves, so it definitely helped them narrow down the area that they were in. And so pretty much where she had realized that Koichi had a power or stand as well, she was now freaking furious. And we see her going back to the house, and we see now how Koichi was already making his move by pretty much barricading the door. And so pretty much where she got back there, we see now how she was trying to get Koichi to open the door, but obviously that right there wouldn't work. And we see now that he actually used that he used that electric chair to his advantage to shock her. And to me, I did find that kind of funny, but at the same time, that right there to make her angrier. And we even see now how we use echoes to put to put these sound effects on her that were like screaming "I hate you," but at the same time, his words were like still not reaching her, and we see her now, and somehow she was like able to block the sound out to the point where we see like the sound effect actually fall off her body. So that right there was like also very interesting, because so far she's the only one who did that, because we saw that like every time he used it so far, no one was like really able to like make it like go away like that. And so pretty much, she was furious, and we see her now like using her hair to kind of like push the door open. And so pretty much now, he was like, there was no way he could like let her get inside. And so this time where he called out to Echoes once again, we see it now kind of like fall to the ground, and we see hardening. And so pretty much he was like freaking out, thinking his stand was like dead. So pretty much he still has a lot to learn, because if his stand was dead, I'm pretty sure that right there will like also kill him. And so right now she was like about to like get back inside, because we see her using her hair to actually wrap around this dresser that was like still blocking the door, and we see her now slowly like crushing it. And so pretty much we have Yukako looking at the hardened like Echoes. And so pretty much when she finally got the door open, Echoes was now gone. And so right now where she like called him out on that, Koichi was like also very curious as well. And we see now how Echoes had changed into this form called Act 2. And so pretty much it was now smaller, but it was a hell of a lot faster. And we even see now that that right there wasn't all, because now it's sound effects, like where you touch something of it, that right there is what triggers it. And so pretty much she had like this like foosh sound like on the door, and so when she like touched it, she was like blown away by the wind. And so now Koichi, he was definitely he definitely found like this new confidence in his power, because we see now how earlier in the episode Yukako had used her hair to like force him away and make him crash into this cabinet, but now we have Koichi cutting out the hair and giving himself like this new hairstyle. And so pretty much he was like, he already knows that, there's no way her stand could be his improved on. And so Yukako, she was like getting so mad, like at one point her eye, started to twitch. And that right there was an old habit she had. And so apparently when this happened, she reached her boiling point. And we also learned how she become like extremely violent in these cases. And so now because of that, she was like making her way back to Koichi, and we see now how he put like this hot like sound effect on the railing of the stairs. And so when she touched it, she actually burned her hand. And so now with her like being furious, we see her like using her hair to actually cover up like most of the house. And it was at that point where we have Okuyasu and Josuke. They had like finally found the area, where they were at, but at the same time they weren't sure what house they were in, because obviously a lot of them were being used at the time. But Okuyasu had like pointed out one house, and obviously that one cannot be more obvious, because that's the one that like had all the hair like wrapped around it. And so pretty much now where we have Koichi and Yukako, kind of talking a bit, because she was saying because at one point she had like used her hair to pretty much wrap around like his body, because she was saying how because her new goal, because first her goal was to make him into a better man, but her new goal now was to like make him love her even by force. And so she asked him if he loved her yet, and obviously he doesn't, but at the same time she like never listens. And so we see now she had like used her hair to like wrap around his body, and that right there, but like squeezing on him. But at the same time now he had put a sound effect on himself, and so now by her by her wrapping her hair around him, that right there was like obviously her downfall, because we see her go flying now. And like at the same time, like apparently where she either her stands so much or reaches a state where her body is like really weakened, her hair actually turn white. And so now, like, Koichi thought that that she might be dead, and that right there was like a really big fear that he had, because obviously he did not want to kill someone, because that right there is like not in his character. And so pretty much he had to go check on her, but she was not done yet, because we see now how she like still use her hair to wrap around like Echo's act 2, and this time by doing that it was also affecting like him as well. And so pretty much after that, she was going on like rambling a little bit, but at the same time he was like trying to like warn her, because apparently the cliff she was on, that right there was like going to collapse. But at the same time, she was not buying that, even though he was like trying to warn her. And so pretty much where it did collapse, we see her now falling, and of course she was thinking how she had to let go of Echo's to pretty much grab onto something, but at the same time it was like too late. But we see how earlier that the tip of Act 2's tail actually had fell off the cliff, and we see it now hit this rock, and that right there did play a role at the end, because where she hit that rock, that right there had a sound effect that had like made it kind of like in a bungee cord, where it was like so squishy that that when she hit it, it kind of like made her like jump back up. And so that right there was like very nice of him, because he could have let this crazy chick die, because at the end, she had realized how she lost completely, like she not standing a chance against him, because she had lost from the start. But at the same time, she was not mad. She was in complete bliss, because she now like loved him more than ever, because she was saying how she does not care, if he ignores her completely, because now she is so happy. She's like on cloud 9, and there's like no getting off of her. And so eventually, where we have Okuyasu and Josuke, like finally reaching him, because they had missed so much. All they can see is her, so freaking happy. It was like creeping them out. And so at the same time, we have these two fishermen who has saw, what had happened, because apparently, this rock right here, it is now a landmark of the town. And so that right there to me was like freaking hilarious. And not to mention, these severe these severe teaching methods kind of help Koichi in the end, because we see now that on this next test he actually got a perfect score. And so he was not sure how to feel about that, but at the same time I was like dying though. And so next week the title for the episode is called "Let's Get Some Italian Food." And so it's funny how that right there is, because Italian food was like mentioned earlier in this week, and like at the same time, like it's gonna be coming back next week. So that right there might lead some to believe that we're not done with Yukako, but at the same time, if you read the manga, you definitely know what's gonna happen next. But like I said, this episode to me, it was good. And Koichi's stand, I will say that I'm very curious about it, because how come his stand is like able to like upgrade, in these forms of acts, where we have like these stands that have like been established in theory so far, and they haven't got like this upgradable, treatment. But of course, don't forget to like and subscribe, because that really helps me out. And as always, you guys take it easy. I will see you all next time.